Hello students, in the previous module we discussed about the fundamental duties. Here in this module we are going to discuss about directive principles of state policies. Directive principles of state policy are guidelines and instructions given by the constitution. These principles are guiding the government how to make the different policies by keeping different principles in mind. The government at all levels are expected to frame their policies in accordance with these principles, with an aim to achieve our national goals and establish a welfare state in India. Government is not here to do any kind of business. The prime motive of the government is their welfare of the nation, welfare of the state. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar considered these guidelines as powerful instrument for the transformation of India from a political democracy into a economic and social democracy. That government should not play political games only, but rather than government should focus on economic and social development of the people, economic and social development of the country. Classification of directive principles. Although the directive principles of state policies are in a large number, they have been grouped into four main categories. They are economic principles, social principles, Gandhian principles, and principles related to international peace and security. So there are four categories. Only two principles from each category are being given below, are given in your textbook to make you understand the nature of directive principles. Let us begin, students. Economic principles. To secure equal pay for equal work for both men and women means government should not have any kind of discrimination on ground of sex, that men and women should be given equal remuneration for their work if the work is same. To provide adequate means of livelihood for all. It is the government duty that government should take responsibility of providing proper livelihood for the people. But we see in the society, in the present condition, government fails in this. Government is of course trying its level best, but due to the different problem existing in the society like corruption, overgrowing population, these policies are not 100% successful. Social principles. To make efforts to raise the standard of living and public health. In these social principles, government should make efforts to raise the standard of living. How to increase the standard of living? By providing the different required facilities to the people at affordable rates. Affordable rates means the different prices for the different economic level. To guard children against exploitation and Moral degradation. It is government duty to guard against any kind of exploitation of the children or any kind of moral degradation, decrease in the moral ethic of the children, that always government should protect. Gandhian principles to organize village panchayat. In this Gandhian principles, the goal is that to organize village panchayat, as Gandhiji was in the favor or gave this Panchayati Raj system principle. So this is followed in this principle. To promote cottage industries, as we know, Gandhiji was in favor of production by masses, not in production in mass. So Gandhiji wanted the production in the country should be done mainly by the cottage industries, by the small industries, so that more and more people get employment opportunities. And by keeping that thing in mind, this principle has been included in the constitution to promote cottage industry. Principles related to international peace and security. To maintain just and honorable relations between nations. It is the government responsibility that to maintain the honorable relations with different nations. As we know, students, no country can be excellent in all the field. And as the country cannot be excellent in all the field, there will be a huge possibility of interdependence for different kinds of needs. And unless the countries have friendly relations, they cannot exchange the goods. And that is why it is the government responsibility to maintain friendly relations with the different nations of the world. To promote international peace and security. Whenever this principle is kept in mind, peace and security, then of course we step forward to development. And that is why this principle has been included to maintain this international peace and security, contribute in maintenance of this international peace and security. Now, significance of directive principles of state policy. Though directive principles of state policies are non-justiciable, means whatever the principles has been given, it cannot be challenged in the court. Yet these are the moral obligations on the part of the government at all level to work for the welfare of the people. Means these principles are given as a moral responsibility that cannot be challenged in the court, and that we cannot say that court will force to the government to follow these principles, otherwise that will be against the law. But of course it is moral obligation, the moral responsibility of the government to follow these principles in favor of nation, in favor of welfare of the nation. Many directive principles have been implemented and they have become either legislation or fundamental rights, some of the principles, directive principles became legislation means became important, became justiciable, and some of became fundamental rights also, as here given few of that. Right to education has become sorry right to education has become a fundamental right. Students, in 2012, this was made as a fundamental right. Environment Protection Act and Wildlife Protection Act have been passed, as it was earlier a directive principles only, but afterward law has been passed, act has been passed, and afterward this has become strictly legal. And if the people don't follow these, then of course that if for the illegal activity they can be punished by the court. National Commission for the Welfare of Women has been established. So this National Commission organization has been established, a commission has been established for the welfare of the women. Right to work has been implemented for the rural employed under Manrega. Nowadays it is Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. This was implemented in 2005. Under this Manrega, the different people in living in the rural area, mainly rural area, are guaranteed by the government. If they apply for employment, they will be given work within 3 kilometer area of their residence. If government fails, if this system fails to provide employment, the people will be given remuneration without work. So this was this Employment Guarantee Act for the rural unemployed people. This was all about for this today's topic, students. We'll meet in the next module with some more topics.